Mm.
हॅलो विक्रांत सर, तुम्ही आलायत का? हॅलो 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 हॅलो
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sorry, I was not able to unmute myself. Can we start, or we'll wait for a few minutes? Because only 22 students are there. Hello.
Yes, sir.
जनरली कितने स्टूडेंट्स रहते हैं?
150 up.
अभी तक तो 21 ही है, including me. We'll wait for a few minutes and then we'll start. Okay?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir.
Kindly make me host. Hello, Vikas here. Thank you. So, children, can we start? Hello, everyone. Can we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bhavna miss, please mute yourself. Bhavna miss. Okay. So let's start. Let's understand what we are going to discuss in this session for the science one for common entrance test 2021. Okay, myself is Vikrant Sawant sir. Let's understand the feature of this examination first. Everything and anything for the 11th admission. One second. Now. Okay. Along with the student from the Maharashtra State Board, CBSE and ICSE students can also appear for this examination. That means those who want to get the admission for the HSE, Maharashtra Board 11th and 12th, they can appear for this examination. Not only SSC students, CBSE, ICSE, anyone. This CET examination is optional. As you all are aware, this CET examination is optional. Then why we are supposed to give this examination? What are the benefits which we are getting after giving this examination? So let's understand the benefits. CET examination will have 4 subjects like English, Math, Science and Social Studies. Each subject for 25 marks. Means English 25, Math 25, Science 25 and Social Studies 25, total 100 marks. One question for 1 mark. So total 100 question will be there. No negative marking. That means even if you're not getting the answer of any question, you can do the guesswork and select your answer. Wrong answer के लिए कोई भी marks deduct नहीं होने वाला है. Next, duration for this examination is 2 hours. 2 hours means 120 minutes. So you have to solve 100 question in 120 minutes. So question based on science and social studies will not take much time. But the question based on maths will take some time and English probably will take some time. The question based on numericals in science will take some time. But the theoretical question will not take some more time. So even if I round, say 1 minute for one question, still you are having 20 minutes in your hand after solving 100 questions. So take your time properly and try to solve the questions. Next, these are the multiple choice question. So you will be having 4 options, out of which one option will be corrected, which you are supposed to select. Examination will be offline, probably self-center. Self-center means most probably in your school only. Then examination will be conducted after SSC result are announced, and the tentative date was 15th of July. Tentative. It is not yet sure. But that is sure that after the SSC examination, your exam will be conducted for the CET, and that will be in the first week of August, near about. you will get the admission. Then the question might be arising in your mind that this exam is optional. Even if you get 1 or 2 marks, you will get the admission. Then why we are supposed to give this examination? What difference it will create after giving the examination? So here it goes. Student who have appear for the CET will get the admission first. Means you will be having a choice to get the admission in a good college. That means those who are appearing for the CET examination, as per their score, they can select the college, and as per the merit criteria, they will get the college. That means choice will be there in your hand. But those who are not appearing for this examination, their admission will be after the admission of CET student, CET appeared student. So CET appeared student की एडमिशन के बाद जितने सीट्स बचेंगे किसी कॉलेज में, उस सीट्स के ऊपर नॉन CET वालों का एडमिशन होगा. That means that time you will not have a choice of your own college. So that's why the CET is important and the score is important. Understood? Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So take this CET seriously because it will give the choice for the admission in the 11th standard. You can select college of your choice. So today in this session, covering all the chapters of Science 1 is not possible. That you also aware that 1 घंटे में इतना सारा कुछ work होने वाला नहीं है. But yes, I will work with you on one chapter which will give you the idea how you are supposed to study for the rest of the chapters. Okay. So I have selected your first topic, that is gravitation. So whenever you are selecting any topic, yes.
So is there a negative phase of CET?
No, there is no negative marking. So you can do the guesswork also.
No, sir, I'm not talking about marks. I'm talking about is there a negative phase? If we choose CET, there is some negative thing which can also happen.
No, because CET is completely
Just
optional.
like we are getting good preferences, is there something opposite from that?
Come
if
again.
we don't choose it?
Can you repeat your question?
I'm asking about that if we choose it, so we get first preferences in colleges and other things. So it would be for each and every college or the college which we are getting in our percentages.
See, that will be, you will apply as per your choice. जैसे पहले एडमिशन के लिए स्टूडेंट अपना चॉइसेस सिलेक्ट करता था डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हिज परसेंटेज कि लास्ट ईयर इस कॉलेज के क्लोजिंग परसेंटेज क्या थे, मेरिट क्या थी, तो उसके हिसाब से अपने परसेंटेज देख के वो प्रेफरेंसेस देता था और उस प्रेफरेंसेस में उसके परसेंटेज के हिसाब से उसको अलॉटमेंट होती थी. वैसे ही अलॉटमेंट होंगी तुम लोग की सीईटी स्कोर के ऊपर. That's why the CET score is also important if you want the college of your choice.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So admission procedure will be same as the traditional admission process, but normally जहाँ पे तुम लोग का SSC का स्कोर पकड़ा जाता था, वहाँ पे अभी ये CET का स्कोर पकड़ा जाएगा. And you will get the admission on the priority basis. So in today's lecture, I have selected one topic from your syllabus, that is gravitation. Okay. So after selecting the topic for the study, how to go with that particular topic, that we will explore over here. Okay. So in gravitation, let's check what are the content first, which we are supposed to study for this examination. The first one is the concept of gravitation. Second one is the Kepler's law. Third one is Newton's universal law of gravitation. Fourth one is the acceleration due to gravity. Fifth one is free fall. Next one is the gravitational potential energy. And last one is the escape velocity. The syllabus which has been omitted by the board for the academic year 2021, which is of your academic year, that part is not included in this list. Like centripetal and centrifugal force, ये यहाँ पे include नहीं है. Circular motion ये यहाँ पे include नहीं है. तो जो omitted syllabus है उसको side में कर दो. जो syllabus है पहले उसको chalk down कर दो. So these are the content from the gravitation for your CET examination. Okay. So how to go about these details? So let's explore them one by one. First one is gravitation. So Who discovered the gravitation? Sir Isaac Newton was the first one who discovered the gravitation, that everyone knows. Everyone knows about his story, that he was sitting below the apple tree, apple fall on his head, and then he start thinking why this apple is coming in the downward direction, why it is not flying in the upward direction, why not it is going in the horizontal ways. All those questions pop up to his mind. Why all apples are falling vertically downward, not in the angle, means it is coming straight away vertically downward. Why it is not going like this cross, that is angle, and why they do not fly off in the horizontal direction. When that question comes to his mind, he started finding the answer. So he was aware, unless and until you apply the force on any object, that object will not move. That means that apple was on the tree at rest position, but when it is coming down, it is getting into motion. And when it is getting into motion, yes, क्या हुआ? Hello, any question? Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when he start thinking why this apple is coming into the motion, ऊपर तो रेस्ट में था, while coming down it is into motion, and motion is not possible unless and until you apply the force. That means some force is acting on this apple, because of which this apple will get into the motion and it will fall down. So the key word here is the force is getting applied on this apple and apple is coming down. Then who is applying that force? Tree तो force नहीं लगा रहा है, because that apple was stick with the branches. Then something there from the earth which is applying a force in the form of pull. Means earth is pulling the apple down, because of which that apple got into the motion, it is falling down. Then he observed that apple, when it falls from the tree, it is always perpendicular to the surface of the earth. It is not going at different angles with respect to surface of the earth. It is always perpendicular. Anything which we throw from the height, it always goes towards the earth and it is always perpendicular to the surface of the earth. Then he thought little more, that the line which is perpendicular to the surface of the earth is always reaches to the center of the earth. If we continue that line, that means something there at the center of the earth which is pulling down that apple or any object, and he named that force as the gravitational force. So in this entire story, what you have to remember, that always when object falls under the gravity, it is always perpendicular to the surface. The force is acting from the center, and because of the force, that object get into motion. These are the key points which you have to remember under the concept of gravitation. समझे?
Yes.
Means when you are reading the textbook, just mark these keywords or key concepts, because the question will be completely based on this, either directly or indirectly. So the question for you is question number 1, a dash is necessary to change, I can't see this word, change the speed as well as the direction of the motion of the object, and your options are force, inertia, momentum and motion. Can you select the answer? Yes, Shaurya. Yes, Nisha. Your answer is right. Yeah, it's force. Unless and until you apply the force, object will not get into the motion or not change its state of rest or motion. That was a Newton's first law. So you should remember that. That law is also called as law of inertia, because object is not changing its position. That tendency of not to change its state of rest is called as the inertia. So first law is also called as inertia. So you have to remember the meaning of each and every word in the option. Momentum. Momentum is mass into velocity. It is equivalent to change in momentum is equivalent to the force applied. That is second law. And motion is possible only when you are applying the force. So you have to select the appropriate answer. And while selecting the appropriate answer, you have to be aware of meaning of each and every option which is given to you. So do not try to select the option blindly. Okay, let's go ahead. Kepler's law. This was the Kepler's, Johannes Kepler. Before his study, everyone was aware that all the planets are moving around each other. They are in the motion and they are moving around the sun. Everyone was aware that planets are not stationary, they are in motion. And many scientists has worked on that. They collected some data, they calculated something, but they have never find the relation between the planetary motion and the data. So here was the Kepler, who found out the relation between planetary motions. So his first theory, that is first law, said that planets are moving always into the elliptical orbit, not in the circular one. So the option can be given like elliptical, circular, hyperbolic, and you have to select the right answer. Planets are moving around the sun into the elliptical orbit. One question has been generated over here. Second, he said that this elliptical orbit has two centers. जैसे सर्कल को एक सेंटर रहता है, एलिप्टिकल ऑर्बिट को दो सेंटर्स रहते हैं, which is called as focus. First focus, second focus, and your sun will be on one focus. So first law talk about shape of the orbit, which is elliptical, and the position of the sun, that is on the focus. That was the Kepler's first law. Second law talks about how much area has been swept by the planet during its motion. For example, here you have a sun at one focus, here you have a earth. Okay, and this is a line joining sun and the earth. When your earth is moving in the anti-clockwise direction, it is sweeping certain area. Okay, so what he does, he just calculated how much area has been swept by this line in 1 month. He calculated this area. It's a sector, so it can be easily calculated, right? Next, after few months, he again did that experiment, and again he calculated the area. Here, if you check, this line joining is bigger than this line joining, because here your earth is closer to the sun and your earth is away from the sun, because it's a elliptical orbit. But he was surprised the area swept by the earth in that both 1 month period was same. That was the second law. And in the third law, he said that whatever time that earth has taken to complete one revolution, the square of that time period is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of the planet from the sun. What do you mean by the mean distance? Here, if I keep the planet, this much is the distance from the sun. Here I keep the planet, this much is the distance from the sun. If I keep the planet over here, look at the cursor. If I keep the planet over here, this much is the distance. So he measured a different distance and then he took the mean of that, average of that. So square of time of revolution is directly proportional to the cube of mean distance of the planet from the sun. That was the third law. So here you have to remember these three laws. First law talks about shape of the orbit and position of the sun. Second law talks about when the period is same, 1 month, the amount of area swept by this line joining will be same. And third law talks about T square is equal to R cube. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So under the title of Kepler's law, you have to remember this much only, not beyond that. So let's check the question and answers. The orbit of the planet revolving around the star is circular, linear, towards the focal point, or elliptical. Your answer? Anyone? You can unmute yourself and share your answer. I'm waiting for the answer. Tell me fast. Better you unmute and communicate because it is very difficult for me to keep on checking the chat box. Yes, Mohit.
Circular.
It's elliptical. Yes, yes.
Circular.
Just now we have seen the first law, na Kepler's. Kepler के first law में Kepler ने क्या बोला था? Yes.
Elliptical.
Yes, it is elliptical. It is elliptical. Okay. Towards the focal point. What does it mean towards the focal point? At one focus, your sun is situated, and your planet is on the elliptical orbit. The line joining between them, if the planet travels along the line joining between them, then that is called as towards the focal point. So that is next to impossible. Otherwise, your Earth will get merged with the sun. So towards the focal point is wrong option. If you check, Earth is not going straight. If it is going straight, then it will keep on moving either towards the sun or away from the sun, which is impossible. So bacha circular and elliptical. You are keeping the sun at one focus. So there are two focus which are associated with the elliptical, not with the circular. So your option is elliptical. Let's move ahead. Next question. The square of the period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the dash of the mean distance of the planet from the sun. Options are square, square root, cube, and cube root. Anyone?
Cube.
Yes, it's cube. You have to remember the third law. Next, Newton's universal law of gravitation. The next concept. There are two objects in the universe. Suppose this one is the Earth and this one is the Moon. Earth has mass m1, Moon has mass m2. Earth will also having the gravitational force, Moon is having the gravitational force. And these two forces are acting on each other. That means Moon will apply F2 force on the Earth, and Earth will apply F1 force on the Moon, with which they will attract each other. Okay, the distance between Moon and Earth is smaller. So with which force they are attracting each other is depend on the product of the masses, directly proportional to the product of the masses, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. That was the universal law of gravitation. So here you have to remember this formula, that force either F1 or F2 is equal to Gmm upon R square. Where this mm is the mass of these two individual bodies and R is the distance between these two bodies. Proportionality constant was G, and this G will be a universal constant. That means you can take any object in the universe, two different planets, two different stars, or else two different objects on the Earth, or else a smallest particle, that is proton and electron. In each case, this constant will be always same, whose value will be 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square kg raised to minus 2. And it was calculated by Henry Cavendish. The question can be asked, who has calculated the universal gravitational constant? By mistaken, we always select Newton because the name of this concept is Newton's universal law of gravitation. So we think that gravitational value G, universal gravitational value, is calculated by Newton himself. But no, it is Henry Cavendish. So be alert. It is Henry Cavendish who calculated the value, and it's a Newton who studied the relation between the force between these two objects. So Newton studied the relation and Henry Cavendish calculated the value. Here you have to remember formula, these two names, unit, and the value of G. If you don't remember the unit, doesn't matter. If you remember the formula, you can easily calculate the unit. How to calculate the unit? See, if I want to calculate the unit of G, then rest of the things, physical quantities, I need to transfer on the left hand side. तो ये r स्क्वायर यहाँ पे ऊपर चला जाएगा, m1 m2 यहाँ पे नीचे चले आएंगे डिनोमिनेटर में. सो ऊपर है f into r square. Force is in Newton, r is in meter, so meter square. So numerator is Newton meter square. In the denominator you have mass into mass, that is kg into kg, so kg square. So answer will be Newton meter square upon kg square. The upon wala kg, if you are transferred in the numerator, instead of square, it will become minus 2. So your unit will be Newton meter square kg raised to minus 2. Sometimes they try to confuse in the unit. They can give the unit like Newton meter square upon kg square also, and that is also a right unit, because इस kg square को हम लोग डिनोमिनेटर में लेके गए, तो ये kg raised to minus 2 को डिनोमिनेटर में लेके गए, तो it will become kg square. Understood? Have you understood? Let's take the question. The gravitational force between the two bodies is directly proportional to the product of the masses of those bodies and is dash of the distance between them. Options are inversely proportional to the square, directly proportional to the square, inversely proportional to the cube, and inversely proportional to the square root. Just now you have seen the formula. Gravitational force is directly proportional to the product of the masses. Yes, it is right. And is dash of the distance between them. Where was the distance? In the denominator or in the numerator? R कहाँ पे था? Be quick.
Denominator.
Denominator. So is it directly or inversely?
Inversely.
Inversely. So this directly option get ruled out. Bacha inversely. Okay. R, it was R square or R cube?
R square.
So what is the right option there?
Inversely proportional to the square.
Very good. Inversely proportional to the square.
Inversely proportional to the square.
This is how you are supposed to select the answer if you get confused. Just check the formula and try to apply on the statement and select the answer.
No.
Next, the value of the universal gravitational constant in SI unit is. Check all the values and give me the answer. Tell me the first digit of that answer. It was 619. 6. That means the last two options has been ruled out. तो बचे ऊपर के दो option. Now in about two first two options, values are same. Yes, it is first one. It is Newton meter square upon kg square. Upon kg square is valid, right? So option A. So actually in the CET, when you're writing the answer for the MCQ question, it is not the process of selection, it is process of elimination. You have to eliminate the wrong answer and then you have to come up with the right answer. तो यहाँ पे मैंने क्या किया था, यहाँ पे सिर्फ मैंने तुम लोग के पहले स्टार्टिंग डिजिट को मैंने चेक किया. स्टार्टिंग डिजिट तो अपना 6 था, तो 9 वाले ऑप्शन रूल आउट हो गए. So I will not bother about what is the rest of the content of this option. तो बचे ये दो ऑप्शन. अभी इस दो ऑप्शन में मेरे वैल्यूज तो सेम है, दैट मीन्स वैल्यूज में कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. देन देयर इज अ कंफ्यूजन among the units. So I will focus on the unit. If on the spot I don't remember the unit, I just calculate the unit from the formula itself and I will select the answer. This process will take hardly 1 minute, but your thinking should be as quick as possible. Okay. While doing this, I'm not just explaining you the topic, but I'm giving you the tricks. So please do remember that tricks also. The next, the dash force is much weaker than the other force in the nature. Read the question carefully. The dash force is much weaker than the other force in the nature. Gravitational, electromagnetic, nuclear force, and intermolecular force. Any guessing for the right answer? Just focus on the formula that F is equal to Gmm upon R square.
Gravitational.
Why so? Your answer is perfectly right. But why? Anyone who can give the answer for this why? Why the gravitational force is weaker than any other force? See, in the nuclear force, two particles which are getting attracted or repelled, they are very close to each other. They are inside the nucleus. So the distance between them is very small. So if the distance between them is small, that means R is very small. And R is inversely proportional to the force. That means if R decreases, force will increase. So nuclear force is stronger force. Intermolecular force. The distance between the two molecules is also small. So if the distance is small, the force will be large, inversely proportional. So intermolecular also a strong force. In case of electromagnetic, the same case. But in the case of gravitation, when you are calculating the force between the two objects, those two objects are at a larger distance. So when they are at a larger distance, the value of R increases. And since the value of R increases, the value of F will decrease because they are inversely proportional. Got it? That's why the gravitational force is weaker than that of the other force in the nature. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
You are able to understand how to select the right answer and how to go towards the right answer.
Yes, sir.
The next, acceleration due to gravity. This experiment you all have done. Okay, I'm standing on a cliff and I'm throwing a ball in the downward direction. Okay, initially I'm holding this ball in my hand. When I'm holding this ball in my hand, that ball is not moving, so its velocity is 0. Okay, as soon as I drop the ball, I said as soon as I drop the ball, I will start the stopwatch. After 1 second, I will check the velocity of the ball. It was 9.8. After 2 seconds, again I will check the velocity of the ball. It was 19.6. Then on the 3rd second, it was 29.4. On the 4th second, it was 39.2. On the 5th second, it will be 49. If you observe this, the velocity of the ball is keep on increasing. Vidhi, mute yourself. Okay. So if you check here, as ball is going down, its velocity is increasing. And you all are aware, when you apply the force on any object, that object will acquire the velocity. If the force is more, the velocity will be more. That means there is some relation between the velocity and gravity. Here, if you observe, the velocities keep on changing. Initially 0 tha, then 9.8 हुआ, then 90.6 हुआ. It is increasing. Change in velocity, increase in velocity is called as acceleration. Increasing velocity with respect to time. See, velocity is increasing. Increasing velocity with respect to time means as time increases, if velocity keep on increase, then it is called as acceleration. As time increases but velocity decrease, remember this, as time increases but velocity decrease, then it is called as deacceleration or the retardation. So here we have learned one more term, that is deacceleration or retardation. This time increase हो रहा है but velocity decrease हो रही है, then it is not an acceleration, it is retardation or deacceleration. But if both the things are increasing, time is also increasing and the velocity is also increasing, then it is called as acceleration. This velocity is increasing because ball is coming down under the gravity. Hence, this is called as acceleration due to gravity. Got it? So यहाँ पे question can be developed based on the acceleration due to gravity as well as the deacceleration. So, how this acceleration due to gravity varies with? You all are aware that Earth is not a spherical shape. It is somewhat a geoid shape. Geoid मतलब elongated, oval shape. It is flattened at the pole and bulging on the equator. Since it is a flattening at pole, the distance of the pole from the center is lesser than the distance between the equator and the center. So if you check the values, B value, which is from the pole, it is 6350 kilometers, whereas the distance from the equator is 6372 kilometers. You need not have to remember this value, but just remember the relation that the distance from the pole is lesser than from the distance of from the equator. Okay. Now, where you feel the gravity will be more, pole or equator? Start giving the answer. Where the gravity will be more, at pole or equator? You know the formula learn किया था? See, you have learned the formula F is equal to gmm upon r square. That is, force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So if you check here, the distance from the pole is lesser than the distance from the equator. So my question is that where that gravitational force, that is gravity, is more? Anyone? Be fast. Okay, let's check the formula. Formula was F is equal to gmm upon r square. That is, force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance, right? Means if the distance decreases, the force will increase, and that force is nothing but due to the gravitational force, right? So here in this case, here if you check, the distance is lesser and here the distance is more. So where there is a more distance, force will be less or greater? You can give the answer. This is a very easy answer. R अगर कम होता है तो फोर्स बढ़ेगा कि घटेगा? Anyone?
घटेगा.
घटेगा. Means as distance increases, force will decrease. So that force is nothing but the gravity for us, no? So if the distance decreases, force will increase. That is gravity will increase. So यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे तुम लोग का distance decrease हो रहा है. So here the gravity will be more. So you can say on the pole, gravitational force is more than the equator. Agree with this? Do you agree? Be quick, guys. I wish to cover a few more points. Otherwise, the time will run away. Now tell me where the weight of the person will be more, on the equator or on the pole? What is weight? Mass into gravity, right? The formula for the weight is mass into gravity. Mass won't change, so it is depend on the gravity. So where the gravity is more, there mass will weight will be more over there. Where gravity is less, their weight will be lower. So in these two cases, pole and equator, where the weight will be more? I want your active participation. Otherwise, it will be really boring lecture for you. I'm not here to teach you the concept. I'm here you to revise the concept and make you think from the CET point of view. Please tell me fast. मैंने अभी क्या बोला? वेट का फॉर्मूला है मास इनटू ग्रेविटी. किसी बॉडी का मास तो चेंज नहीं होगा, मेरे बॉडी का मास तो चेंज नहीं होगा. मैं या अर्थ पे रहूं या मैं मून पे चला जाऊं, मेरे बॉडी का मास तो उतना ही रहेगा. But gravity will be dependent on the position on the surface of the earth, whether you are on equator or you are on pole. On the pole, the gravity is more, on the equator, gravity is less. So तुम लोग के weight के फॉर्मूला में mass into gravity आ रहा है, mass constant है, तो weight is directly proportional with the gravity. So where the weight will be more, what does it mean? Where the gravity is more. Where is the gravity more?
On the
Gravity
pole.
काफी ज्यादा है पोल पे, तो इसका मतलब weight पोल पे ज्यादा आएगा. So question can be asked based on the gravity as well as based on the weight. कि कहाँ पे तुम लोग का weight ज्यादा रहेगा या कम रहेगा, कहाँ पे gravity ज्यादा रहेगी या कम रहेगी, पोल पे या इक्वेटर. So as you move from pole to gravity, weight will increase or decrease. Be quick. यहाँ पे ज्यादा है, यहाँ पे कम है.
Decrease.
So as you're moving from pole to equator, your weight will increase or decrease?
Decrease.
It will decrease. So this relation you have to remember, how the shape of the earth is affecting the value of the gravity. Next, how the height will affect the gravity. Okay. This force is depend upon the distance, this much. अगर मैं अपनी हाइट अर्थ के ऊपर की और इंक्रीज करने लगता हूँ, then r will keep on increase, ना? Denominator will keep on increase. अगर डिनोमिनेटर तुम लोग का इंक्रीज हो रहा है फॉर्मूला के अंदर F = gm/r², तो फोर्स के ऊपर क्या इफेक्ट आएगा? फोर्स विल डिक्रीज और इंक्रीज?
Decrease.
It will decrease. That means if you achieve more and more height, the gravitational force will keep on reducing. But यहाँ पे एक चीज तुम लोग को prominently याद रखनी है. This logic which I am talking about, as height increases, gravitational force decreases, is applicable only when the value of the height from the surface of the earth is greater than the radius of the earth. मतलब सी, अभी इस केस में अगर मैं बोलने जाऊँ तो ये h वाला वैल्यू RE वाले वैल्यू से कम है. मतलब यहाँ पे ग्रेविटी तुम लोग को कम नहीं दिखेगी, it will be somewhere 9.8 only. But when this h, that is height from the surface of the earth, is greater than that of the radius of the earth, then that time only your gravity will start decreasing. तो ये पॉइंट तुम लोग को यहाँ पे याद रखना है. Check the condition in the answer and accordingly select the answers. They might generate the question that gravity dash increases, sorry, gravity dash with height from the surface of the earth, and option will be increasing, decreasing, remain same. और ब्रैकेट में अगर उन लोगों ने कंडीशन दिया हुआ है सपोज कि h is greater than re, then your answer will be decreasing. If they have not given that condition, then your answer will be constant. So एक कंडीशन के ऊपर तुम लोग का आंसर चेंज हो रहा है. So that condition that h should be greater than re, then only your gravity will decrease. कि तुम लोग को यहाँ पे याद रखना. These are the key points on the basis of which the question can be asked. So these key points you have to remember. Next, based on the depth. तो हम लोग को इतना पता है कि अगर डिस्टेंस कम होता है तो ग्रेविटी बढ़ती है, डिस्टेंस ज़्यादा होता है तो ग्रेविटी कम हो जाती है. तो अगर मैं सरफेस से टुवर्ड्स द सेंटर ऑफ द अर्थ मूव करूँ, मीन्स आई एम गोइंग इनसाइड द डेप्थ, टुवर्ड्स द सेंटर ऑफ द अर्थ मूव करूँ, तो मेरा डिस्टेंस कम होता जाएगा. If distance decreases, then gravity has to be increased. But unfortunately, this logic doesn't work over here. Because as you are moving inside the earth, your position is here now, not here. That means only this much of the part of the earth you have to taken into consideration. So your radius is decreasing. You are here at this position. So the distance between you and the center has reduced, no doubt. But the mass of the earth for you, I said for you, where you are standing, has decreased drastically. So it has decreased drastically, because of which your numerator decreased drastically. That is m1 into m2. तो r की वैल्यू बहुत कम वैल्यू से डिक्रीज हुई, but m की वैल्यू बहुत ज्यादा डिक्रीज हुई है. Then because of which m, which is directly proportional to the force, because of m value, this gravity has decreased. मतलब यहाँ पे ग्रेविटी इंक्रीज नहीं होगी, यहाँ पे ग्रेविटी डिक्रीज होगी. Is that clear? Please mute yourself. Mahek. Okay. Is this clear? पोल पे ग्रेविटी ज्यादा है, इक्वेटर पे कम है. अर्थ सरफेस पे अगर सर्टेन हाइट पे चले जाते हो तो ग्रेविटी डिक्रीज होगी, बट कंडीशन इज दैट h शुड बी ग्रेटर देन re. एंड अगर डेप्थ में चले जाते हो तो इंस्टेड ऑफ इंक्रीजिंग द ग्रेविटी, ग्रेविटी विल डिक्रीज. इज इट क्लियर? हेलो.
Yes, sir.
सो दीज आर द कीवर्ड्स.
Yes, sir.
किसी भी कंसेप्ट के अंदर कुछ कीवर्ड्स रहते हैं. तो व्हेन यू आर स्टार्टिंग द स्टडी, आई विल सजेस्ट यू just open the chapter, okay, check the reduced syllabus, delete it out. जो syllabus था उसके पॉइंट्स को रिकॉर्ड करो, और उस हर एक पॉइंट के अंदर जितने भी कीवर्ड्स है, फॉर्मूलाज है, या कांस्टेंट वैल्यूज है, लाइक कैपिटल जी की वैल्यू थी, कांस्टेंट वैल्यूज है एंड फॉर्मूलाज है, उसको जॉट डाउन करो किसी पेपर पे. Because those value you have to remember, you have to mug up, because there is no choice, because you have very less time. तो values को तुम लोग को दिमाग में फिक्स रखना ही पड़ेगा. There is no other choice. Okay, and while you are reading the textbook, make sure that you are reading each and every word thoroughly. Okay. So let's take the question based on this, so you will get more idea. The value of the gravitational acceleration, small g. See, capital G is a universal gravitational constant and small g is a gravitational acceleration due to gravity. But small g is highest at the pole, highest at the equator, same everywhere on the surface of the earth, and lowest at the pole. They're talking about g, small g. It is your option.
Highest at the pole.
Yes.
Fourth.
Highest at the
Yes,
pole.
very good. Highest at the pole. Similarly, the value of the gravitational acceleration g is dash at the equator. 9.78, 9.832, 9.8 and 6.67.
9.8.
कितना?
0.8.
Tell me the option number, first, second, third, fourth.
A.
One at a time.
A.
A. Yes, the option is right. But generally, we can make a mistake that on the equator, the gravity is lesser. Then in general, we are taking the gravity as 9.8. तो इस 9.8 से लेसर वैल्यू यहाँ पे कौन सी है? तो 6.67. यहाँ पे ये ऑप्शन सिलेक्ट करने के चांसेस ज्यादा रहते हैं. But you have to remember that 9.8 value which we are taking into consideration by calculation, that value is the average of the gravity measure at pole and equator. पोल और इक्वेटर पे जो हम लोगों ने ग्रेविटी मेजर की थी, उस दो वैल्यूज का एवरेज 9.8 रहा. दैट मींस पोल और इक्वेटर पे जो ग्रेविटी की वैल्यू रहेगी वो 9.8 के आइदर साइड में रहेगी. मतलब 9.8 से जो थोड़ी हायर है दैट विल बी ऑन द पोल एंड जो थोड़ी लोअर है दैट विल बी ऑन द इक्वेटर. सो अगर 9.8 से थोड़ा हायर अगर मैं देखता हूँ तो ये 9.832 है, वो थोड़ा लोअर देखता हूँ तो 9.78. तो 78 can be on pole. No, it will be on equator and 9.83 will be on pole, थोड़ा higher. अगर मैं 6.67 यूज करता हूँ तो 6.67 और 9.8 का एवरेज समवेयर 7 पॉइंट के आसपास आता है, which is wrong. Because हम लोग जो 9.8 यूज करते हो that should be 7 if I select this value. So remember this point. The weight of the object on the moon is nearly of the weight of the earth. 16, 18, half or 26.
1/6.
1/6, but obvious because मून के ऊपर जो ग्रेविटी है वो अर्थ की ग्रेविटी से 1/6 टाइम है. तो ऑब्वियसली जितना मेरा अर्थ पे वेट था उससे 1/6 वेट मेरा मून पे होगा. दैट मींस इफ आई एम वेइंग 60 kg ऑन द अर्थ, 1/6 of that will be on moon. So I will weight 10 kg on moon. So question can be given to you like in terms of weight also. Ki this much is the weight on the earth, what will be the weight on the moon? Or this much is the weight on the moon, what will be the weight on the earth? So in that case, you have to remember this relation that it is 1/6 time. Okay. So these are the point to be remember. The next question, a person weighs 60 Newton on earth. His weight on the moon will be, anyone? 60 Newton on earth.
10 N.
10 Newton. Why not 360?
10 N.
Yes, your answer is right. 10 N. Because it is 1/6. हाँ, अगर मैं बोलता था 60 Newton on moon, then the answer will be 360 Newton on earth. Because always remember you are weighing more on the earth than the moon. तो गलती से भी तुम लोग का आंसर मून के ऊपर का ज्यादा हो गया तो समझ लेना तुम लोगों ने रॉन्ग आंसर सिलेक्ट किया है. यू आर वेइंग मोर ऑन द अर्थ देन द मून. तो गलती से भी आंसर तुम लोगों ने ऐसे सिलेक्ट किया तो वहां पे तुम लोग को आइडिया तुरंत मिल सकती है कि तुम लोग का आंसर राइट है. सो यू ऑलवेज रिमेंबर मून पे वेट कम ही होगा. तुम लोगों ने देखा रहेगा एस्ट्रोनॉट चलते वक्त भी जंपिंग करते हैं. दे आर unable to hold their legs on the surface of the moon because the gravity is less. Okay, any doubt? Any doubt, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
भी यहाँ पे तुम लोग को मैंने डायरेक्शन दिया है. डायरेक्शन में तुम लोग क्या करना है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल चैप्टर खोल दो. चैप्टर के अंदर जो ओमिटेड सिलेबस है उसको बाहर कर दो. देन जो भी टॉपिक एग्जाम के लिए थे उस टॉपिक के अंदर इन डिटेल रीड करो. रीड करने के बाद जो कीवर्ड्स है उसको नोट डाउन करो एंड ट्राई टू सॉल्व द मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चन. बोर्ड हैज रिलीज द क्वेश्चन बैंक. आई होप तुम लोग को मिला है. क्वेश्चन बैंक मिला है तुम लोग को बोर्ड का, सीईटी का. ओके,
No, no.
No, sir.
No, sir, no.
CET का नहीं मिला है, sir.
ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम. वी विल शेयर विथ यू. आई एम नॉट अवेयर which division you are
Yes,
from, but we'll make sure that that particular question bank will be shared with all the divisions. So we will share with you. Try to go thoroughly the question of each and every question of that question bank. There are most probable chances that you will get more question from that question bank. There are chances. I'm not with a guarantee. Okay, there are chances. So wish you all the best for the CET. Start your preparation. Do chapter wise. Don't mix it. Okay. Hello. Do you have any query? Yes.
रिजल्ट कल है ऐसा बोल रहे.
बहुत सारे लोग अनम्यूट हो चुके हैं, मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
सर बहुत
Sir,
सारे
का रिजल्ट आने वाला है.
रिजल्ट कर है. इज इट ट्रू?
कि अभी तक हम लोग को कोई ऐसे नोटिफिकेशन मिला नहीं है बेटा. वो टेंटेटिव डेट था, अभी उसके लिए और कोई गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से नोटिफिकेशन नहीं है. सो आई कैन नॉट कमेंट ऑन दैट.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Okay, and don't worry about your results. Start preparing for the CET because CET will benefit you more for the 11th admission.
थैंक यू सर.
Okay, wish you all the best. Do you have any other query
No, sir.
in science, how to study and all? Or shall I end the meeting?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, why so CET students have the first preference for colleges?
Because they are preparing a lot now.
Okay.
They are putting more effort because they everyone is aware that whatever marks you are getting in the 10th standard, that will not judge how much you have studied in the 10th standard, right? That means
Yes,
10th
sir.
standard में तुम लोगों ने कितना एफर्ट डाला है पढ़ाई के लिए, उसका और इस मार्क का कोई रिलेशन ही नहीं है.
Yes, sir.
It is just because of the internal submission and the 9th standard scores you are getting those marks. So that marks will not have any value. तो अगर तुम लोग को अपने IQ के ऊपर अगर बेटर कॉलेज में एडमिशन लेना है, then there should be any screening criteria. तो ये screening criteria. So those who are really deserve to get a good colleges, they will definitely give this examination because they were thoroughly prepared for the 10th standard examination, जो हुई नहीं अपनी. तो किसी के साथ injustice ना हो इसके लिए CET का ऑप्शन रखा हो.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. Do you have any other doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Wish you all the best. Study properly. If you have any doubt, I'm there with you. Okay.
Thank
Those
you,
who are
sir.
in my divisions, they are having my contact number.
Yes,
But
sir.
those who are
Yes.
not in my division and still they want the help, I will definitely help them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm planning for something. As it work out, I'll let you know for your CET.
Why,
Okay.
sir?
Sir, can you message your phone number?
क्या हुआ बेटा?
Can you message your phone number, sir,
Just a
for
minute.
any further help?
Wait a minute. I'm putting in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Got it? So wish you all the best.
No, sir, we didn't get your phone number.
I have typed in the chat box. Oh,
No, sir, we
sorry,
didn't
I'm
get
so
it.
sorry. I'm so sorry. ये all के लिए नहीं हुआ था. I'll share it. Thanks. Okay. अभी मिला रहेगा देख लो.
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes, sir, got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. Most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bye, sir.
Bye everyone. Take care.
Bye, sir.
Stay home. Stay safe.